A.J. Hill. That could have been a big gainer just off the mark. Need midfield, need the 50.
He's got Mike Brown down here at the bottom again.
Pressure. It's Williams. And I think he's going to be short. Marshawn Lattimore might have saved the game.
So just as I predicted, we had one for the books with this Monday night matchup. Justin Herbert versus Drew Brees. We had a really fun game and even went to overtime. I had no idea that would have happened, obviously. I mean, I can't predict these fucking games. But that was such a fun Monday night. I love that. If we can get more of those in prime time, I would be so happy. But we have a whole bunch I'd like to talk about for this Sunday. So let's get right into it. So just like I said with that Raiders game, they had to show up. Derek Carr said he was sick and tired of being disrespected, and he proved it during this game. Raiders coming up 40-32. Really shocked, honestly. I don't know if you guys remember my predictions from last week. I thought Chiefs are gonna win 42 to 14. I said something crazy like that. Complete opposite, 40-32. It was a shootout. Really fun game to watch too. Unfortunately, I was working for half of it, but the first half was super fun. Carr balled this game, man. That's what we needed. That's what Oakland, Las Vegas needed. Very big improvements everywhere. This is looking like a legit football team. And Nelson Aguilar is the only receiver right now in the league to have a perfect passer rating when targeted. He's like at 158.3. So, love seeing that. Carr completed 22 of 31 passes this game for 347 yards, 3 TDs, and 1 pick, which is a passer rating of 127 according to Pro Football Focus. So, really fucking great game from Derek Carr. Really great game from the Raiders. Really excited to see that game. And this just proves that the Chiefs are beatable. If the Raiders can beat the Chiefs, any high-powered offense with a mediocre defense can win. I mean, going into this game, I mentioned I really think the Chiefs can go undefeated this year. And that just proves, man, that's not going to happen for at least for a very long time, if ever. These Chiefs are the best team I've ever seen, and they were still beat. So there is no doubt in my mind that, this is either going to make the Chiefs light a fire under their ass, make them start balling, like, yo, hey, we can lose, man. We can really lose these games. Or they're just going to tank down, They're just going to drop from here, which I really don't see happening. I see them just only improving from this loss. And super quick just to mention, make sure you guys like that video. Super quick just to mention, make sure you guys like the video if you enjoy it so far. It helps me improve everything. And I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but just make sure you guys like the video, just so I know you guys are enjoying these videos so far. So yeah, just make sure you like that video, and then once you guys are done liking it, just click like button for me, super quick. And last week I did skip a couple videos that I wasn't really, or a couple games, I'm sorry, that I didn't want to cover, such as Jaguars and Texans, Cardinals and Jets. I didn't really have much to say. Dolphins and 49ers. I don't have a whole lot to say about those games. Except for those Dolphins. Those Dolphins came out balling. But for this week, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to talk about the games that I'm really interested in, and then I'm just going to skip over the games. So if you guys see games that aren't covered for me, just know I didn't really care a whole lot for that game. At least for this week, just to see how it goes. And then another game I had a lot to say on was this Browns-Colts game. I definitely mentioned how I thought the Colts were going to pull it out in the very end. Didn't seem like it went that way, but I said I was also really excited to see where the Browns are going. And if they would pull this win out, I would love that more than anything. And it seems like they were able to. 23-32, so it was a contested game for the most part, and it played like a contested game for the most part. But, they did come out on top by 9 points, obviously 2 possessions. I really like what I saw all around, honestly, from the Browns. Really good game, really solid game all around for the most part. And I don't know if I mentioned this yet, just make sure you like that video super quick. That leaves the Browns now at 4-1. Something that hasn't been accomplished since I believe it was, 98, 99? Basically since I've been alive. So this is really awesome to see. And the Browns really have a challenge this week. I think this is going to be one of the most watched games. Or I guess not the most watched, but the game you must watch this weekend. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. So this is going to go one of two ways. This is going to be a very contested game. I can see Cleveland actually pulling this game out as long as they stick to that run game. Don't rely on Baker. He's not going to be that player. He's not that player. You can't rely on him to throw 40, 50 times a game and win the game. You need to rely on that run game, establish it how you did against Indianapolis, and you're going to pull out that W. or I'm going to see Pittsburgh and Big Ben take over the game, especially since it's in Pittsburgh, very hard place to play, and just completely blow them out, not make this a contested game. But I really think this is must watch, especially since this has such, honestly, I don't want to say this because it's fucking, we're week 6 weeks into the season, but I would say this has playoff implications. If the Browns win this game, I say they're going to be the 7th seed into the playoffs, because now we have the 7th seed, or even potentially the 5th or the 6th. Obviously, the Ravens are going to win this AFC North Conference. But if the Steelers pull this one out, I have them honestly going to make that playoff spot, the wild card for sure. So must watch. Really excited to see what's going to go on. But I expect a lot of scoring in this game too. Both heavy offensive teams. Pittsburgh obviously coming out with the better defense. But I want to see Denzel Ward make a big effort in this game. He did last year. The game against the Colts, this last game. But I need to see him go big again right here. So far through 4 games, we've seen Aaron Rodgers play the best football of his career so far, and he hasn't thrown a single pick. I really think that's going to be a big tone in this game, as well as involving Aaron Jones in that run game. If they can establish a run game early on, that's going to set a precedent where they can run play action all the time, and it's going to involve Tampa Bay's defense fighting on that run. This is not a battle versus Tom Brady. This is a battle versus Tampa Bay's defense. And I'm really excited to see that because Tampa Bay has one of the best defenses right now, top 5, probably even a top 3 in the league right now, which I'm really loving. I love defensive play. All my best friends know me. They know I love defense more than anything. But this is going to be a high-flying point game, I believe. And then I do see Aaron Rodgers pulling this W out. Tom Brady, he's still learning the ropes. He's not used to all this sloppy work, all this sloppiness in Tampa Bay. He's still working out those nudges here and there. This is America's game of the week. I really think it's going to be one of the best games of the week. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be a game for Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers to watch. I think it's going to be more of like a battle between Aaron Rodgers and that Tampa Bay defense. I mean, there's weapons everywhere all over the field for Tampa Bay. So I obviously expect them to score quite a bit. Leonard Fournette, they have Rob Gronkowski. Mike Evans is back this week. Obviously, Tom Brady not to mention. So they're gonna put up points for sure, no question. But I just want to see this defense versus Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers hasn't really faced the craziest defenses so far yet through 4 weeks. I mean, Minnesota, Detroit, New Orleans, and then Atlanta this past weekend, which aren't the craziest defenses of all time, obviously. Not even top 5 in any of those. I'm really excited to see them play Tampa this weekend. We're gonna see what that offense is really made of against good defenses. I feel like a lot of people really aren't talking about Green Bay, man. I'm not seeing a whole lot of coverage on them. I mean, they're in top 10 in power rankings, but I feel like they're not a feared team whatsoever, which is fairly odd because I really like their defense. Obviously, Jair Alexander leading that off. And then I really like their offense, too. Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams is back, too. Devontae Adams is balling, and Aaron Rodgers is set to have one of the best seasons of his career so far, at least through 5 games. So I'm really loving this team so far, and this is going to be a really fun game to watch. I got Aaron Rodgers and the pack pulling it out, though. I'm not going to give a score prediction. I have no idea what this is going to end up being, but I really like Aaron Rodgers in this game for sure. And I've only got 2 more games I want to talk about. I got this one and then the Chiefs-Bills coming up. But I really don't think the Rams have played anybody yet. You guys know who they've played so far? So the Rams, through 5 weeks, have played the Bills in the entire of the NFC East. They've played one good team. The NFC East combines for a total of 4, 15, and 1 through 5 weeks of play, at a negative 154 point differential combined. Negative 154 points. None of those teams are average whatsoever. They're all below average. Now, Dak being out for the year, even worse. This is gonna be climbing down, man. There's nothing good about that division. The only team that they played that's decent was the Bills, albeit they scored 32 points on them, 32-35, so it was a close game. They were in it, but I just don't see a whole lot, honestly, coming out from this Rams game. Even with this Niners being banged up, I mean, who isn't injured? Tevin Coleman did not practice. D4 didn't. Jimmy Garoppolo's still out. George Kittle was limited in practice. Raheem Mostert did not play. He's going to be out for this weekend as well. And then you also obviously have Nick Bosa, who's out for the season. Tevin Coleman out for the season. Deebo Samuel out for the season. Richard Sherman on IR. Solomon Thomas out for the season. Nick Bosa's gone. Like, there's nothing the Niners have. This is not a rebuild for the Niners, but a re-health, I guess you could say. They're not a bad team. The Niners are a great, fantastic team, as much as I hate to say that being a Raiders fan. But there's nothing they have going for them because of all these injuries. I really think it's going to be a tank season, especially since it's against the Rams. They have something to prove. They have a lot to play for, and they want to beat these Rams, and they want to stay in contention for the playoffs, potentially get their players healthy again for the playoffs. But they have to make it first. So I really think the Niners are going to keep this game contested. And I think at the very end, they're actually going to pull it out even with all these backups playing. I don't think the Rams are taking these Niners serious whatsoever just because they're so injured. Normally, if it was a normal game, these Rams would never overlook these Niners, especially in their division. I think they're overlooking them this game, but I'm taking the Niners in this one. No score prediction, like I said. But give me the Niners in a shootout, though. I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of points. A lot of points, sloppy football, though. Not must watch, but it should be a good one. And last but not least, we have my personal game of the week. We have the Chiefs against the Bills. Shock of the league versus reigning Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes threw 22 for 43. So about a 51% passer rating. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick against Oakland, which Oakland has a very mediocre defense. I think Buffalo has a little bit of a better defense, honestly. I really don't expect Patrick Mahomes to struggle too much, but if he plays like he did against the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, I apologize, there actually might be a contest with that defense. Josh Allen threw about 26 for 41, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks against that Titans D. Titans D is pretty decent, not this year so far through 5 games, but we did see what they can do last year, so not a bad defense by whatsoever. But I think Josh Allen's going to come back, man. I really like this game a lot. This is going to, everybody wants to talk about contenders, pretenders. We're through 5 weeks. That's the only when you can tell what's going on. I think this game is really going to set a precedent, Buffalo Bills, if they can pull this game out, I really can see them I'm not saying they can make a Super Bowl run at all. I'm saying if they can pull this game out, they are a threat, and I would be very cautious. Through 4 weeks, they've been the shock of the league. Yeah, they've been the shock. Everybody's been surprised. Titans kind of silenced that. They're 4-0 now, sitting atop of the AFC South. Buffalo Bills still sitting atop the AFC North. I'm sorry, the AFC East. But with that silence from the Titans, you never know what's going to go on. That can either deteriorate them for the rest of the season, or they can take that motivation and just pop off even more, make a playoff run. And then I could even see this matchup being later on in the playoffs. Buffalo Bills versus the Chiefs, which would be a fantastic one. We all got to see what's going to go down. I really think it's going to be a pass-heavy game through both teams. Even with the Le'Veon signing, the Chiefs actually just did. As of yesterday, the day I'm recording this. I think it was a Friday. I'm recording this on a Saturday. I know I'm super late with these predictions, like always. Who knows? Who cares? I'm assuming Le'Veon isn't playing this game, though. He literally just got signed to the team 2 days ago as of this game being played. So I really wouldn't expect him being played at all. And if he is playing, I wouldn't expect him to make, be the difference between winning and losing to the Bills. So I honestly would love to see Buffalo taking this game out, especially since they just got shit on by the Titans. And I really think the Chiefs are going to take this one out. They've realized they can be beat. It kind of humbles them. It makes them realize they are a team. And, they're human. They're not always going to play their best football every single day in and day out. Not even Patrick Mahomes, which is the best football player I've ever seen in my life. So I have the Chiefs winning this game for sure. I think it's going to be a really fun one, though. My game of the week, like I said, very fun. I can see Buffalo pulling it out, sneaking it out by this much, but I really think the Chiefs are going to have to lock this one down if they want to stay atop. Keep their throne, keep their Super Bowl round 2 running going. Alrighty, boys. Thanks for watching. That's all I got for this week, too. I think on Tuesday, maybe, let's do a little game recap. I need to do some recaps to see what I got right and see what I got wrong, just so I know what to go from there. I love learning more about football. I love shocks. I love surprises. And I also, who doesn't love being right? I love being right. I love being wrong. I love seeing both. So I think I'm going to make a prediction video on Tuesday, and then let's see if around Thursday, Friday, I can get my prediction video out for week 7. So, Alrighty, boys. If you made it this far of the video, thanks for watching. Live, laugh, love, you guys. Appreciate it so much, man. But yeah, let's see. We should have another week, a good week of football. Not the craziest games of all time, but we got a couple exciting ones here and there. So let's see what we got right. Let's see what we got wrong. Let's see some surprises this weekend, boys. All right. Peace.